No, no, no. I was for you. So, welcome everyone. I'm Jose Pedro Manzano, one of the organizers of the Brain Hack. So, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you also for the rest of organizers and the association that support this event and make it possible. I will start giving a brief introduction for the Brain Hack. What is Brain Hack? What can we do here? First of all, what you're looking for actually is the Wi-Fi password. So there is no Wi-Fi password. There is just this account you can connect, or if you have an academic account, yeah, you can also connect directly to a drone. So what is a brain hack? How many people here already know what is a brain hack? You didn't read the description of the event. Okay, so in common conferences, in academic conferences, there is like a quite clear procedure. You have to go, you have to sit down, you have to listen the lecture of somebody, and just between lecture and lecture, you have some minutes to interact with other people, to discuss with other people, and then you have to go back into the lecture room, and again, sit down, listen the lecture, no interaction with any other one, and sometimes this is the result, right? But there are some people from the open community in neuroscience, like Cameron Craddock, Daniel Margulis, Pierre Bellet, that loves these breaks between lectures. They love to interact with other people. They love to learn from other people. They love to collaborate with other people. So they look for something, some event done before, everything is already done, that follows this idea to collaboration. And the most similar event that they find is something called hackathon. Hackathon comes from the computer science field, and they try to bring together a lot of people working together intensively during 2 or 3 or 4 days for some projects, like in a marathon. So if you mix marathon and hackers, you get hackathon, and if you include the ingredient of brain, you have a brain hack. Okay. The first brain hack was in Leipzig in 2012. And since there, the brain hack blown a lot, and it was quite associated for some neuroimaging conference. So all the people interested in open neuroscience went like 2 or 3 or 4 days before the starting of the conference and worked together in some projects. However, all these conferences used to be in North America. So a lot of people from Europe or Asia are not able to attend for this conference. So again, Cameron and company, this guy from the open neuroscience community, create something called Brain Hack Global. A Brain Hack Global is like a distributed format of a common brain hack, where a lot of spots around the world, like this one, do the brain hack simultaneously. Okay, the first edition was last year. It was a challenge actually because the neuroscience community is quite small, but even that it was completely a success. There are more than 1,000 participants, more than 36 brain hacks around the world, and completely in Spain. It was hosted in Bilbao. We were there, and we were like, I don't know, 20 people, 30 people. This year, this is split in two different spots. One is this one in Madrid, and another one is in Donosti, also in Spain. Both has like 50 people join. So yeah, we can say that the community is growing quickly. So what is a brain hack? A brain hack is an informal event where people interested in open neuroscience in the open community work together to improve the state of the art. How can you improve this state of the art? You can develop new software. This is the common idea from the hackathons. But you create new standards, data format, data standards. You can collaborate to create new pipelines or try to unify. You can create guidelines. There are a lot of ways. All you can imagine you can do for a brain hack to improve the state of the art. From these events, you can find some useful tools in general for this kind of brain hacks. The first one is some websites where you can find information about brain hacks, like brainhack.org, Brain Online Intensive Courses, or Open Neuro. You can find some examples of projects, repositories, or what is the definition of a brain hack. Obviously, to do a project, we need data set. So there are a lot of open initiatives like OpenFMRI or AbbVie or even Open Neuro that offer a lot of data sets, large data sets of multimodal data like electrophysiological data, diffusion data from MRI, functional data from MRI also. And in the last times, some private initiatives like the Human Connectomy Project, HCP, or Biobank, UK Biobank, open all this data. I think UK Biobank is actually the largest project in the world. Fidel Alfaro, one of the speakers of tomorrow, will talk about that because he's working there. Also, brain hacks are focused on how to develop pipelines, and this focus on reproducibility because it's one of the main lacks in the neuroscience nowadays, and how to create some standard formats like BIT. BIT is Brain Imaging Data Structure, and it's becoming the standard for all the neuroimaging community. Yeah, a lot of examples of other brain hacks or repositories or projects you can find a lot in the website. For this brain hack, we will use Slack. I don't know if you already know these platforms. Slack is like a social network, work social network, where you can create some channels for different topics. You can share documentation. You can create discussion panels. And we have our own channel. It's PhD 18 Madrid. But you can also connect to the general channel that is called Brain Hack Global. And there you can discuss with people from other spots of the brain hack around the world. You can collaborate from some of the projects that they are doing or just ask questions. You can find also tutorials for different parts of the neuroimaging. Obviously, in Twitter, we are making some tweets. For the hacking part, Docker, which is a company from Barcelona, is one of the sponsors of this event. They provide a Docker container where every tool needed for the neuroimaging analysis, so you don't need to install anything in your laptop. They provide a Docker with all these softwares, and they also provide computational resources to do all the analysis. Actually, they propose a challenge, and this challenge is like 1,000 images, so it's likely to not run in your laptop. So yeah, we can use their tools, and we are very proud to try to launch the Open Brains Spain community. Okay, we opened this YouTube channel where we can record and upload all these lectures during the brain hack, and we hope to update it with new material about neuroscience, about machine learning, artificial intelligence, statistics, different topics during the next few months. So if you are interested, if you want to collaborate, please tell me before because we need collaborators. Okay. This is an example. I don't know if you can see. This is an example and a schedule of different talks around the world from the other brain hacks. You can get this information in this link or just connecting to the general channel in Slack of the Brain Hack Global. There are so many different topics about imaging, diffusion imaging, functional imaging, MRI, physiological standards, reproducibility. Just check it, okay? So, as you can see, behind the brain hack, there is an idea about collaboration instead of competition, right? We are aware that that's true. Competition is a motivation for so many people. That's true. The first reason that we don't have prizes is because we don't have enough funding. So we try to propose some challenges that we consider important for the rest of community, but will be also linked directly to some prizes that there are already. For example, the first ones comes from this company, Cumenta from Barcelona, and they propose a challenge that will be linked directly to the first to the National Hackathon of e-health here in Madrid in the next month. There are a prize about 750 euros more computational resources during 3 months. And also, if the results are published, they can publish with you. They can assist in this process. I think it's the biggest, probably the most interesting challenge in this brain hack. Okay, but don't worry, Albert is an engineer from Qmenta, and after this talk, we will tell you better than me how to do this challenge. Okay. Another project is from the Neural Rehabilitation Group from the Instituto Cajal here in Madrid, in the city. And they work in neurorehabilitation of people, and they work with electrophysiological data. So they propose if you can decode human neural electrophysiological signals from different stimuli. Again, they can explain better than me after the challenge, but I think all this process could be done in MATLAB. So MATLAB has a challenge from his new format. Live Editor is like an Jupyter notebook, but in MATLAB. So you can try to make a project and present this project for the challenge of MATLAB. The last one is about one of the main challenges nowadays in neuroscience is the reproducibility. So my colleague Austin will propose to replicate a paper without knowledge about which methods they are using, and you have to try to get the same results. And if the work is well done, you can make a publication for the replication award of the OPM. Okay? This is a high reputed prize, so you have to do a very well work. But yeah, try. Obviously, for all this process, you can use the Docker container that Qmenta provides for us and their resources from the cloud. And for those people who can feel uncomfortable because, probably some of you don't have the right skills or the right experience to do all these previous challenges, we propose also different educational alternatives, okay? For example, create some tutorials or try to replicate the same pipeline in different softwares or different programming languages and try to extract some conclusion about the different of analyzing different softwares. And all of them you can do in a video tutorial format and upload it to the YouTube channel of the Open Brain in Spain. So a consequence or maybe an objective of all these parts of the brain hack is to meet new people. Okay. As a personal experience, I'm an engineer, I'm an electronic engineer, and I'm working in a biomedical research center. So sometimes I feel there is a big lag between technicals and clinical profiles. We can't understand each other and we follow different objectives and even we work in different spaces. So we are very proud that we have today here in this brain hack a lot of different profiles, such as neuroscientists, neuroendocrinologists, biologists, also physicists and mathematicians and engineers. So it's a multidisciplinary team that we can create, and my recommendation, my advice is try to take advantage of that because it's quite rewarding. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, all this idea behind the brain hack is quite dynamic. I mean, everything you can want to do, you can try to do. If you have some idea, just propose to the rest of the people. Just try. And talking about dynamic, we have to say that we need to reschedule the program. Okay, tomorrow there is no substantial changes. It's for tomorrow because we have to advance the time like 30 minutes for the catering. Okay, so the program for tomorrow is not closed yet. We are looking for the best combo for all of us. But we propose to do these talks in the morning and just the first response talks in the afternoon. And you can work in this part, and also the university is open until the 9 p.m. So we think there are enough time to work on project or tutorials or whatever. So if any of you have any inconvenience, just tell me and we can find the best solution. Okay. Just to end, I would like to show you a part of the summary that we obtained after the answers of the survey. Some of you answered, some not, but let me show you. Most of the people, the up part is degree or less, the middle part is master, and the bottom part is PhD or more. So most of you are from degree or master level. There are a lot of people that doesn't have knowledge of programming. I guess from people from biological or clinical backgrounds, but there are a lot of people that even nothing. And surprisingly, there are a lot of people that doesn't have neither experience in neuroscience. What I want to say with that, don't be shy, don't worry. I mean, I think you did it perfect because I consider Brain Hack is the perfect place to try for the first one for all these people that are interested in neuroscience but never tried because it's hard, it's a very broad field and you don't know where to start. So yeah, you did it perfect, okay? It's perfect. It's a perfect place to start. Actually, we introduced this big part of educational for all of you. So yeah, it's a good point that have different levels and you are full of people around you because who can show you and can probably someone to do correctly. So don't be shy to be wrong. So the conclusions of the introduction is don't be shy, try, participate, be wrong, and above all, enjoy. Thank you. So yeah, next we will expose some of the challenges that I mentioned before. After this part, we will have the coffee break, and the first talk we will be given by Albert Puente from Qmenta. They will explain how to use a Docker, how to use all this software from Neuroimagine. Yeah, I will. This is tonight. So a brief summary of the projects. Summarizing, we have 4 projects. The first one will be explained by DJ.
Yeah. Have you already commented about the MATLAB challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, you can send this to the MATLAB challenge. You do it in MATLAB, of course. So the idea is the decoding human electrophysiological signals. In principle, we are going to suggest 2 databases. You can choose another one you have in mind. EEG. You can even choose another one, but we suggest you to choose EEG to be in line with the tutorial. And then I'm gonna just explain what you can do. This is gonna be presented again this afternoon in the EEG tutorial. But here you have the information about the 2 databases that we have found. This one you have the link in QR code if you are lazy enough to just not copy it but capture it with your mobile phone. And I have put the information that the authors give with it. But just you have to cite them if you use this information for whatever you do. Okay, it's another database. The previous one was with some task of motor and imagery. This one is with tasks of moving, counting, multiplying, and so mental tasks. And the idea is just to decode and classify the data you have. Imagine the use of an BMI, find novel algorithms. So just unleash your imagination. Just provide the tool, provide the idea, the algorithm you want to use with that information, and yeah, let's start with that thing.
Okay, so this one is a relatively simple concept. Can you reproduce the results of a study that's already published? Designing your own pipeline. So not necessarily using the same pipeline that they've designed, but making your own and analyzing the data. And so we'll talk about this later today in the fMRI tutorial, where I'm going to try to go through most, if not all, of the stuff that you really need to do an fMRI pipeline and what's involved in analyzing fMRI data. And simply, the task is, or the challenge is, there's a paper that was decreasing ventromedial prefrontal cortex activity during sequential risk-taking in fMRI investigations with Loom analog risk path. Can we recreate their analysis? Basically, you can download their data, you can see how they've done their paper, you can read their models, and can you basically recreate that from scratch? Really simple concept. And if there's a team that wants to do that, great. And also remember that these are just suggestions. You guys can absolutely make your own projects.
This one is for those people that doesn't have experience in neuroscience, so you can try to reproduce some tutorials. There are a lot of tutorials in English, obviously, but the idea is to create a Spanish community, even in Spanish language, because I already know that there are a lot of people who are interested, but hard to start in an unknown field in English. It's really hard. So there are a lot of possibilities. Okay, if you're interested to reproduce some tutorials, to try some analysis, just let me know. We can find some projects in a tutorial format that will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. I think the idea behind this is to bring with you something after the brain hack. Something to show for the CV, for all the people, whatever. So just thinking about your level, the time given for you, specify a project. The last challenge is the Cumenta SDK challenge, but it will be explained after the coffee break. We have now a coffee break in the workspace part. I don't know if you have any question or very well explained.
If you want to do the YouTube channel, you can use the data from the reproducibility channel.
Excellent. Yeah, you can mix all the projects. You can join for two different projects. Try with both and just finish with two fields.
And also, there's your own projects that you guys want to do that you're interested in. Get some data. Yeah. That's also if anyone